We have a very familiar friend joining us to lead our service this evening, Rabbi Matt Shapiro. All right, so let's kick it off with a song that I wrote with Glenn Goss based on a Rabbi Mark teaching. Yehi Ratzon, a prayer that we usually say in the morning time. But it's usually translated as, may it be your will. And Rabbi Mark flipped it around and said, God doesn't need any will. It's us who needs to be showing up and present. So let's do that right now. Let's show up and be present and try a little love from God. Here we go. If you're like me, a person split in two and don't know what to do, just try a little love from God and let God wake you up and take you by the hand. Try a little love from God. Yehi Ratzon Milpanecha Adonai Eloheinu, may it be my will to try a little love from God. Yehi Ratzon Milpanecha Adonai Eloheinu, may it be my will to try a little love from God. Well, it's not you that makes me wanna lose my cool and break down all your golden rules. Just try a little love from God. The world can be a dangerous place, but it's up to me to keep my faith. Try a little love from God. Yehi Ratzon Milpanecha Adonai Eloheinu, may it be my will to try a little love from God. Yehi Ratzon Milpanecha Adonai Eloheinu, may it be my will to try a little love from God.
Now? There we go. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I know some of you, I don't know all of you. I'm Rabbi Matt Shapiro. I used to work here, and I'm here tonight. Good to see you.
That's right.
I've done this a couple of times over the past couple of months. I looked it up the last time I was here. It was the first week of August. For those who might remember, I had 8 functional fingers at that time.
True.
And my primary concern, the 2 primary concerns in early August, one specific to me, one specific to many rabbis. I wanted to make sure my fingers got better, and I wanted to get through the high holidays to have a nice, easy, smooth, uneventful fall. The good news is, all 10 of my fingers are currently working.
Yeah, that's good.
And not to put a damper on anyone's evening, but suffice it to say, the fall has not been quite as smooth as I hoped it would be. We had something really weird happen around work this week. I spend most of my professional hours up at Temple Beth Am, which is up on La Cienega and Olympic. And early this week, we found out that tomorrow afternoon, there's going to be a rally in La Cienega Park with certain groups protesting in a certain direction about what's currently happening in Israel. And I don't want to give it more airtime than it's worth. But then we faced a decision that we had to make because we have services Shabbat afternoon at Temple Beth Am. And I wasn't in the room for the conversation, and I don't know exactly what was said. And the decision was made that we would not have services at Temple Beth Am tomorrow afternoon, and that they would be moved off campus. Out of precaution, no specific threat, but just in case. And to say a phrase that I've been saying all too often these past few weeks, I never thought that I would have to say that our community moved prayers off campus because we were afraid of what might happen because of a demonstration down the street. I never thought I would have to say that. I never thought I would have community members coming up to me and asking me if it was safe to leave their mezuzot on their doorposts, to keep their mezuzahs up in Los Angeles in 2023. I never thought that when I take my kids to soccer practice, with a bunch of other things happening, that I would have to think to myself, is it okay that I brought them right from school and they're wearing their kippot? I never thought for myself that before I leave my home to walk down here on a Friday night, is it safe that I am wearing my kippah to walk for 1.5 miles in the middle of Los Angeles? I never thought any of that. And I'm kind of tired of having thoughts that I never thought I would have to have. But I'm having them, and I'd imagine I'm not the only one. So it feels like things are shifting around a lot, and it's a scary time, and it's a sad time. It's making me feel all kinds of feelings. And when I'm feeling some of those feelings, I want to, figure out what to do with them, and I want to get out there, and I might want to yell, and I might want to get in people's faces. I might want to do any number of things that might not be that good for me. And so then there's a question of how do I respond? How do I respond? How do we respond when we're feeling that frustration, that anger, that sadness, that fear? What do we do? I'm not an expert in international relations. I don't know what should happen next. In the world, exactly how things should fall out. What I do know about is I know a little bit about recovery, and I know a little bit about our tradition. And I'm grateful to have teachings that say to me, here are all of these ways. Here are all of these ways that you can connect with yourself, that you can connect with something bigger than you, that you can connect with a community, that you can identify what is within your control, you can identify what's out of your control, and you can take it one step at a time and go from there. So here are 2 things that I'm working on. One of those things is, this is my own naivete and my own sheltered, nice little Jewish boy from Highland Park, Illinois. I have only ever lived in extremely, and this is the technical term, Jewy places. I went from a suburb that was so Jewish that Hebrew was offered as a foreign language at the public high school to a private university that was just about as Jewish, and then I lived in Jerusalem, and then I moved to the most Jewish place of all, Pico Robertson. The only places I've lived for any length of time. I never thought I would have to make a point of saying, I'm proud to be Jewish. I never thought, because for me it was just a given. But you know what? It's not. It's not a given that I can say that. It's not a given that people can assume that. It's not a given that my kids will be able to say, I know what it is to be a Jew, and I'm proud to be a Jew. So I'm making a point to say, I know what it is to be a Jew, and I'm proud to be a Jew, and to claim that as much as I can, as often as I can. So that's one thing I'm doing. And that's not just, there's a difference between pride and chauvinism, and there's a difference between saying clearly this is my identity and saying I don't care about other people. Those are not the same thing. But I'm also not going to back down from the fact that I'm saying I'm proud to be a Jew. And one of the reasons that I'm proud to be a Jew is because it means that we wrestle and we struggle and we try to figure out what the right thing to do is. That's a key part of what it means to be a Jew. I'm certainly doing that these days. And another one of the wonderful things about being a Jew is that we have all of these amazing spiritual technologies available to us to help us connect with ourselves and with God and with community, one of which, of course, is Shabbat. What we're all doing here right now. A friend and colleague of mine, Rabbi Josh Warshawski, he recently offered a really beautiful thought about Shabbat to me. He made the point, he said, if you look at the Torah, which I sometimes do, if you look at the Torah, day 1, what does God do? God creates. Day 2, what does God do? God creates. God creates, and God creates, and God creates. If you look at those first 6 days, there's one thing that God does over and over and over again, and pretty good job of it, right? First 6 days, what does God do? God creates. So what does God teach us through Shabbat? God teaches us it's possible to do things differently. The thing that you do, the things that you do over and over and over again, you can choose something different. You can make a different choice. We don't necessarily remember that all the time. We don't remember that we can do things differently. And so when Shabbat comes around, in addition to pausing, connecting with ourselves and community and God, we can say, hold on. What am I doing over and over and over again that I want to keep doing? And what am I doing over and over and over again that I need to say, I need to pause from this? I need to take a step back. Even if I go back to it after Shabbat. The doom scrolling, the news refreshing, the fear, the anxiety. Can I take a break? The answer is yes, you can. The question is, will you? The question is, do you want to? The question is, do you need to? And if you do, will you respond to that call and say, I can maybe pick that up later, but for now I'm going to connect to what's really important, which is connecting to God and connecting to myself and connecting to this community. And that's what I'm going to choose to do tonight, and I hope you will too. And I'm grateful to be here with all of you. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We will welcome Shabbat in with a blessing over the candles. I'm going to invite up our birthdays to wrestle with the air conditioning and the matches as we light the... Yeah? Is Julian here? Is Ace here?
All right.
We got our birthdays?
No, I
All
haven't
right.
seen any of our birthdays
All right.
arrive as
Well,
of
it's
yet.
open season for candles then.
Let's see. Joan, why don't you come up and light some candles for us? Yes, you. Let's light our Shabbat candles, Joan. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you so much, Joan. Oh. You bring so much light to me when you come in on a Friday, so thank you so much. What a blessing. All right. Rabbi Matt talked about the creation in the beginning of this universe. We created some light with our Shabbos candles. Let's create a space for angels to enter our sanctuary, and let's sing Shalom Aleichem together and clap our hands and be in community as one. Here we go. Lie, 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 la 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 lie, la lie, la 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 lie, la lie, 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 la 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 lie, la lie, la 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 lie, la lie, la 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 lie, la lie, 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 lie. Shalom Aleichem Malachi Asharet Malachi Elion Mi Melech Malchi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Bohem Leshalom Malachi Ashalom Malachi Elion Mi Melech Malchi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Lai 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 ai la lai la 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 lai la lai la 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 lai la lai 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 la 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 lai la lai la 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 lai la lai la 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 lai la lai 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 Barhuni leshalom malachi hashalom malachi Elion Melech mi melech malchi hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Seichem leshalom malachi hashalom malachi Elion Mi melech malchi hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Lai 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 ai la lai la 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 lai la lai la 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 lai la lai 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 la 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 lai la lai la 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 lai la lai la 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 lai la lai 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 ai la lai la 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 lai la lai la 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 lai la lai 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 la 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 lai la lai la 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 lai la lai la 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 lai la lai 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 lai. All right. So we brought in some angels with Shalom Aleichem. Now we're going to feel this great love that God has for us all with Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh Avarachaman Yedid Nefesh Avarachaman Mishoch Avdecha Eretzonecha Mishoch Avdecha Lai 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 Eretzonecha ירוץ עבדך כמו אייל ישתחווה לי אל מול הדרך ירוץ עבדך כמו אייל ישתחווה לי אל מול הדרך ידיד נפש אברחמן ידיד נפש אברחמן משוך עבדך ארץ עונך משוך עבדך לי אל רצונך
Hi again. It says here drash on tshuva, but I'm not going to do that. So here's what we're going to do instead. I'm going to mix it up on Canon 8. We're going to do a drash on tzedakah, then we're going to do tzedakah tshuva, because my whole drash thing, it's got a big tshuva piece, and you know, I'm not here often enough to start repeating myself. So we're going to do a drash on tzedakah instead. I do my best. So here's the thing about tzedakah in our tradition for those who don't know. Tzedakah literally means righteousness. Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof. We're supposed to justly pursue justice in the world. Usually the way that we manifest tzedakah and how we think about it today is through charity, is through giving. Now here's the thing. Everybody has something to give. Everybody. Everybody has something to give. Now, the way that that often shows up in Jewish legal thinking is that whatever your income is, everybody's supposed to give a little bit. Everybody contributes a little bit to the community. Now, I'm not going to be going through anybody's wallets. Only you know what you have. If you're able to give, we're grateful. Whatever you're able to give, we're grateful for. But here's the spiritual principle underneath that, and I really want to make sure everybody gets this. However much you have in the bank account, literal or figurative, however much you have in the bank account, you have something to offer that is uniquely yours to offer, that only you can offer. So as they're passing around the boxes, that was the cue. That was a very slick cue. That was my slick cue. As they're passing around the boxes,
our chest in front of our community, or we share a piece of gratitude for our life and where we're at in our journey. So please, if you have either one that you would like to convey up here, please raise your hand and I will call you to come up. Come on, Kathy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kathy. I'm a grateful member of this community. Some of you have asked that, like, what am I doing here? Because I came up here a couple months ago and said that I was moving to Michigan. And actually, what happened was I kind of moved there, but I kept my apartment, long story. And I was with my mother, and she was horrible. Horrible, horrible, I can't even tell you. And I just kept thinking about Harriet, because Harriet always would tell me, Kathy, you got to grow up, you got to grow up. And I really didn't want to, but somehow I did from all the mantras and all the work that I did. So I just realized that I don't deserve to be talked to, you know, mean and negative and all that. So I got in a car and I drove back, and I just can't tell you how happy I am to be back here, because I really didn't tell too many people. I think there was, part of me was in, part of me was out. So I also wanted to wish Rabbi Mark happy, I think, 35th anniversary. Wish you guys were here. You two helped me so much. Thank you. And also for the people who live here, I want to challenge you. I've never done this before, but why don't you start clapping your hands or dancing a little bit? I remember when I got sober, I'm like, how am I going to dance without drinking? But really, you have this beautiful place with the music and everything else. Get a little bit out of your comfort zone, because it really makes it so much more fun. And then lastly, I'm just praying for Mark Wiseman, that he gets better soon. So, thank you.
Hi, my name's Cameron, and I'm a very grateful member of this community. So, God willing, and by good choice, and assuming that I go to bed here tonight and wake up tomorrow morning, which I believe I will have 6 months sober. I haven't had 6 months sober in 10 years. And that's not for not trying. That's endless rehabs, endless newcomer chips, constant relapses, hours of torture from my mother and myself. This place, I cannot begin to tell you, and some of you already know, but this place is a miracle. This place gives me community. This place gives me connection to God. This place gives me an ability to look at myself and look at the things I've done and, challenge myself to rise to the occasion, to do something different, like the rabbi said. What am I doing different? My entire life has changed in the 6 months that I've been here. Lisa, I remember our interview. I remember how dark and lost I felt. Russell, I remember my first interaction with you and having an opinion and then challenging myself to just understand that maybe this man loves this place so much and doesn't know me, and maybe I don't know myself. I cannot begin to thank Sarah in development for giving me an internship and a job that I love more than anything. And to the residents in the back, whether you clap or not, we all come at this differently. We all come in here differently. Different levels of hurting, different levels of broken. But the fact that you're here is not a coincidence. You are here because God wants you here, and because you have an opportunity to save your life just like I do. And I am so grateful to get to share this experience with you. I love you all. Thank you for my sobriety.
I'm Jonathan, and I'm a grateful member of this community. It's really nice to be here. It's full circle for me because the first time I was at Beit Shuvah, Rabbi Shapiro was here running Torah study, and I was late to it or skipping it. It's nice to see you, Blake. It's nice to see you. Kind gentleman in the back of the room was my first counselor here when I first cleaned my life up. Rue, it's beautiful to see you sitting second row. A lot of amazing people here, and this is an amazing place. Yesterday was my 30th birthday. I realize time's limited. Yesterday was my 30th birthday, and I never thought I'd make it to, you already know how this sentence ends. I'll make this concise and matter what I'm saying. I have completely gone through a experience in which I really value my life today, and I know that my purpose is to spread love and light. That sounds simple, but it's really, we are all one family, and what the gentleman I think before me was saying about us loving each other, and this is an amazing place, it is, but this place isn't just Beit Shuvah, this place is all of it. You are going to run into people that are arrogant and crappy and difficult to deal with, and that is just the nature of this human experience, but it is our responsibility to be love and light. I'm also honoring my best friend and roommate, Thea. Where are you? So, sorry, I didn't see you. So, you remind me of this flower, which is standalone in its power, and it doesn't need any other flowers around it. It is just, boom, right fucking there. So this is for you, and this is you. And I love you. I'm very grateful to be here tonight. Good Shabbos, everyone. And yeah, just love.
Thank you, Danielle. I'm David. I'm a grateful member of this community. I have a big gratitude tonight to express to everyone here and those that are part of this community that are not here tonight. I came in a little over 8 months ago, completely broken and apathetic towards life, not knowing what the point of it was, not knowing how I would make it even another month or two. And this week I started a job. Thank you. Although things aren't perfect in my life, I'm beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Well, not the end of the tunnel, but there's light in the tunnel as I go through life. And I'm beginning to feel as if I am capable of standing on my own when I get out of here, and I couldn't have done it without every single person in this room and some of them not in this room that helped me along this journey. So thank you.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I'm Jerome, and I'm also a grateful member of this community. Cameron said it really well. This community is amazing. This place is amazing. Lisa, I said it to you earlier, and I'll say it again. Thank you for giving me my life back. I really appreciate it. Earlier this week, I suffered a loss in my family suddenly. And for me, grieving is extremely hard. I don't know how to grieve. And on top of that, grieving with strangers is even more difficult. But these guys rallied around me like I've never seen a community rally around a person before in my life. And they held such a special place for me to grieve the way that I needed to. And I just wanted to come up here and say thank you to every single one of you guys in the back. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very, very, very much. That's all I have to say.
Hey everyone, my name is Danny. I'm a grateful member of this community. So I just want to give gratitude for I took 91 days today, so I'm just really happy to be there. And I've been trying to think of a way to sum up, addiction and recovery. And I was watching Lord of the Rings the other day, and that Smeagol character is really, kind of peculiar because he finds this magic ring, which is like our drug, and he falls in love with it, and it pretty much solves all his problems at first, but slowly or surely it completely withers him to death. And I remember, what I specifically remember from that movie, I don't think I ever saw it all the way through. I saw that part though, and he's in a like while the other two hobbits are on asleep, he's having this this battle with himself. And first he's like his alter ego calls him like a murderer, and he's like, no, not listening. And eventually he comes to terms with it by staring through the Soundgarden song Overfloater. He says staring his shadow down, which I think is the ultimate step one. And he just says, just leave now and never come back. I think that's what it was for me. It's just like staring that shadow down, that shadow part of me, and just saying never come back. It's if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But that's what worked for me. I don't have much to say. I just wanted to give Joshua tonight, though. So thanks.
Hi, everyone. My name is Susan, and I'm a grateful member of this community. I've been here for many years, various times with family members, and I wanted to make tshuva. First, I looked at the notes that the email that gets sent out, and I saw that it was Rabbi's 35th birthday for being sober, and I just have to give such gratitude to both Rabbi and to Harriet for helping save my son's life, and also the whole community, because it always does take a community. I read something that Matthew Perry wrote about how penguins gather together when somebody's in trouble and hold them up, hold that person, that penguin who's in trouble up. It's a natural instinct for them to do that. And so penguins are very important in my family, especially to my son. And so that was very important for me to read and to share that this is the community. You guys are all penguins to me. And, you help keep all of us together, including myself and the congregation that I come to that I finally found. And so I thank you.
I'm Thea. I'm a grateful member of this community. All right, Johnny, I'll do it. I am first just so immensely grateful for the universe. That's what I call God, the universe, and people that have come into my life recently. And to be fully transparent, I feel like I'm ascending. But as I'm sure you all know, what that means is God's like, okay, well, now you have to work through this lesson and this lesson and this lesson. And the thing is for me, when I tell myself a story that I'm not good enough or that I don't belong, we're very strong creators. And I will project that out, and I will create a world, and I will get you guys to buy into that story too. So my request is to support me in standing in my power. And I think that we're all very powerful beings, and love and light, really. And Shabbat Shalom.
A whole lot of gratitude. And I appreciate a lot of people mention Rabbi Mark and Harriet. They are sponsoring this Shabbos, and they're a blessing. They've had an impact on each and every one of us. And, I still get to reach out and play golf, and Sarah and I are building our own relationship with them, and it's a beautiful thing. So I feel very blessed to celebrate 35 years of Rabbi Mark's recovery tonight. So. Okay, should we sing a song for Shabbat?
Absolutely.
All right, let's kick it up
Absolutely.
with all that gratitude and all the blessings that people have in their life tonight. Let's keep that same energy going and let it carry us through on Mizmor Shir. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, וזמר לשמך עליון, וזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, וזמר לשמך עליון, וזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר עדיך באמונתך בלילות עלי יעזור בעלי נעבר עלי היגיון בחינוך
All right, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. We got that good Shabbos energy flowing. We're going to keep it rolling. We're going to welcome some folks in, right, Cantor Nate?
That's right.
All right, this is one of the hard parts of choreography. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Last time I was here, Cantor Nate prompted me. I was unprompted this time. We're going to see if I can still get it right.
You got this, Rabbi.
All right, we're going to see what happens. We are members of our community, Aaron and VJ and Scott, to please come on up. Welcome, gentlemen.
And Donovan as well.
Welcome, welcome.
Aaron, VJ, Scott, and Donovan.
Oh, Donovan. Oh, late.
A late edition.
Late breaking news.
Late
okay,
edition.
we love it. We love to see it. Come on up.
And then Ace is the only birthday to be here right now. So,
All right,
come on, Ace.
All right, Ace. All right, Ace. Oh, you go there. I messed it up. Oh, you go with
me. Back to the beginning. That's yeah. That's true. But you're here now. Hallelujah. You were here when I was here in the very beginning. So 7+ years ago. Yeah. All right, you're gonna help us, Ace, with some responsive reading. Yeah. Okay. Let me get a prayer book so you can. You sure?
You can look up there.
Yeah.
the door of this house be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for fellowship.
Welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of this house be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy, and enmity?
May its threshold be no stumbling block to your unrestrained feet.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May this house be for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. Amen.
It was like an I'm Ron Burgundy. Was that-
So first we'll say a prayer and then
Oh, do I do the thing?
I'll do the prayer with them and then
Oh, they do the prayer and then I do the thing. Oh, I messed it up. See, I told you
It's
guys.
all
I
right.
appreciate the fit. I'm here next week. We'll do it better next
All
week.
right, so we're going to introduce you all to the community here, and you can just tell everyone your first name, and everyone will give you a nice little warm welcome. So, community, this is
Donovan.
May you who have come be blessed in the name of the source of life.
Nelech, Beor, Beshem, Adonai.
Let us walk together in the light of the divine one. All right, community, this is
My name is Scott.
Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. May you who have come be blessed in the name of the source of life.
Mela, Beor, Beshem, Adonai.
Let us walk together in the light of the divine one. Welcome. All right, community, this is
Vijay.
Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. May you who have come be blessed in the name of the source of life.
Nelech, Beor, Beshem, Adonai.
Walk together in light of the divine one. I love that emphasis, that oomph over there. All right. Community, this is
Shabbat Shalom. My name's Aaron.
Aaron. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. May you who have come be blessed in the name of the source of life.
Nelech Beor B'Shem Adonai.
Let us walk together in the light of the divine one. Welcome.
Welcome. Nice Hebrew. You were ready.
All right, so just hang tight. Rabbi Matt's gonna have a little opening spiel for you.
Opening spiel for you.
Little like
All right.
inspirational,
Take it.
you know.
Inspirational, you know. Okay, here we go. I really liked. Was it Dave who gave the sort of twist on the tunnel, where he said light at the end of the tunnel, and then he said light in the tunnel? Where's Dave? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? I love that. You might have done. I don't know if you did that by accident or on purpose, but I love that. And I'll tell you why I love that. But first, I'm going to tell you about somebody. Kathy mentioned him. I'm going to tell you guys. Ace knows him. I don't know if you guys do. I'm going to tell you guys about a guy named Mark Wiseman. When we established the milieu that I come from, pretty sheltered little white Jewish kid from suburban Chicago. And I first worked here in rabbinical school. I was an intern here. It was probably my first day, right when I walked in, because Mark would station himself right when you walked in. When I first saw this guy, and I don't cuss at services, when I first met Mark Wiseman, he scared the shit out of me. He was this big dude, bald, more tattoos than I have strands of hair on my head. Like, what is the deal with this guy? I avoided Mark Wiseman for the better part of my internship at Beit Teshuvah. And over time, as I moved through my internship, and then when I started working here, I got to know Mark. And it should still be said, that guy is as crazy as they get. And he is also a really sweet dude. Both things are true. And right now he's in the hospital. And he's sick. And I'm thinking about him tonight. And I know a lot of other folks here tonight are thinking about him and wishing him well and hoping he gets better. Because that's what community does. Right? When you're in community with other people, you move past the initial impression you have of them. You have it, and you move past it, and you move through it, and you start to get to know the people around you, and you connect with them, and you see them for who they are on the outside and on the inside. And that's what binds us together. Because we talk about sometimes here that the opposite of addiction isn't sobriety, the opposite of addiction is connection. And that's what we're here to do. Yeah, we got to stop doing all the things that get us in a bad spot in the first place, and we need to then channel that energy and go deeper so that we say, okay, it's not just about me, it's about we, and how am I going to connect with something bigger than me and connect with the other people around me. And that's often not easy. It's certainly not always easy, and it's often not easy. Sometimes it can feel really hard. And when it gets really hard, there's one thing that we ask you to do, and that is to hold on. To hold on. We won't do that to you again, I promise. We ask you to hold on. We ask you to hang in there. Because everybody here is working on how to do it as an individual, and we're all working on it together. And if you commit to doing that yourself, it's not just you who's doing it. We're all working on that work together. We're the light in each other's tunnels, right? It's not just one of us, it's all of us. And so if you can hold on, and when you can hold on, next year at this time, you're going to be able to help Ace out so he can read a little bit better, and we won't just be celebrating his birthday. We'll be celebrating 5 birthdays, and we look forward to celebrating that with all of you. So welcome, guys. We're really glad you're here. It says, no, we can do L'chadodi. It says me, oh no, L'chadodi. I got dyslexia. No. What do you want to do? I think we can, yeah, we can do that. Let's do that, and then we'll take it up. Yeah, we're going to do I'm keeping Canner Nate on his toes tonight.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, Rabbi Mark for sure used to do that. No problem. So, as Rabbi Matt said, we have not only Mark Wiseman, but many members, valued members, long-standing members of this community who need our prayers for healing. We also need some healing ourselves. So in this Misha Berach prayer, you can throw yourself in the mix on your prayers for healing. And the world also needs a certain amount of healing. And the division that we live in and the looking as your neighbor as the other and these kinds of things that are very prevalent these days, not very healthy. So let's send out a Misha Berach. I'm going to go around the room with my hand. If you could shout out the name as my hand goes around the room, that would be appreciated. Whoever's on your heart and on your soul and on your mind in this moment. Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Hu yivarech, v'yirapeh et hacholim. Elna Rivana la, Elna Rivana la, Elna Rivana la, Elna Rivana la. Mi sheberach Avoteinu Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, veLeah. Hu yivarech v'yirapeh et hacholim. May God grant them a complete healing of mind, body, and soul. And let's have that happen right now.
We're told on Shabbat that we have our neshama yetera, that there's an extra soul, an extra spirit, an extra spiritual part of ourselves that we welcome in, that we get to delight in and savor and infuse our Shabbat with. So with these prayers for healing resonating in our ears, knowing how deeply we all need individually and how deeply as a community we need that extra energy, we are going to welcome in Shabbat joyously with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat, Neka Bila, Shamor vezachor bedibor echad, Yishmi'ano el Hamyuchad, Adonai echad, Shemo echad, Shemo tiferet velitila, Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat, Nekabela. Likrat Shabbat Necho Venecha, Ki Mekor HaBracha, Merosh Mikedem Nesucha, Sof Ma'aseh B'Machshavat Tila, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat, Nekabela. Hitoreri, Hiva Ore, Komi Uri, Shedaberi Kevod Adonai, Alayik Nigla, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat, Nekabela. Everyone rise and face the doorway as we welcome in the Shabbos bride. Bori v'shalom ateret balach gam besimcha vetzola toch emunei am segola boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala v'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala v'nei Shabbat All right, everyone, stay where you are. We're about to go right into our prayer of community where we bow as one, the Baruch Hu. Lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated.
So a word of clarification before I get into the drash. It's important to say, because it's easy for misinformation to spread these days. I don't know if anybody's noticed that. There are services happening at Temple Beth Am tonight. There are services happening at Temple Beth Am tomorrow morning. It is only the services tomorrow afternoon that got moved off campus. Because you got to be safe. And you also got to keep doing what you're doing and not back down from what you're doing. So I just want to make sure that that's clear. There's a tension. There's a tension in so many things in life. And sometimes we have to err on the side of caution. And as much as we can, we need to be proudly and authentically and consistently who we know we want to be in the world. So that was the note of clarification. Now, I don't know if you're a fan of musicals and or ancient Near Eastern literary cliffhangers. If you're a fan of either of the first two, then you probably know pretty well where we're picking up in this week's Parsha. And if you aren't, then there's a bit of backstory to catch us up and make sure we're all on the same page. I will commit to doing it quickly. If you commit to hanging with me, I promise there will be good stuff on the other side. Cool? Let's do it. This is the part for those who know Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. It's the Calypso song. Fans of the Calypso song? Let me hear you say Calypso. All right, we got a few, but not enough, so we're going to have to get into this. Okay. We're in the middle of the Joseph story. For those who might not remember, Joseph got sold into slavery by his brothers. He made it. He was then thrown into jail. He made it out of jail, and thanks to being able to decipher Pharaoh's dreams that told of impending famine, he was brought in as Pharaoh's second in command and managed to get Egypt through the famine. Meanwhile, back in Canaan, Joseph's brothers were having a rough time, and they needed some food. Initially, 10 of the 11 went down to ask Joseph, not knowing that it's Joseph. They didn't know it was Joseph. They asked him for some food. He said, bring your other brother down, for Joseph was Jacob's favorite initially, and then Benjamin, his full brother, was his father's other favorite. The brothers go back to their father. Judah commits to his father that nothing will happen to Benjamin. Jacob, their father, reluctantly agrees to let Benjamin go too. All 11 of them go down. They beg Joseph for food. Joseph agrees. And as the brothers are about to go back to their father, food in hand, Joseph, tricky dude that he is, places valuables in Benjamin's belongings, and as a test, then finds those valuables to see what will happen. That is where we left our heroes, as it were, last week. So at the very beginning of this week's Parsha, something incredible happens. For the first time in the Torah, we see in full-fledged glory what true tshuva can look like. And we see it through the character of Yehuda, through the character of Judah. Now, Judah, hang with me for another second. Judah's kind of been through the ringer in this book. First of all, he talked his brothers into not killing Joseph, but rather into selling him into slavery. Not a great move. When I have my 3 boys, I generally encourage them not to sell each other into slavery. That's my parenting tip of the night. And then, and this part is usually in the deleted scenes version of the kids' Bible. You ready for this? You guys want to hear something real juicy and kind of gross? Yeah, it's in the Torah. Judah had 3 sons. One of them married a woman named Tamar. He died. The next one was obligated to marry Tamar. He died. Judah didn't want to marry the third one off to her. And Tamar wanted a kid. She tricked Judah. Yada, yada, yada. She got pregnant. He accused her of being a harlot, and she then got him to admit that it was actually, unknowingly, to be clear, but unknowingly him. But so there's 2 things that Judah has learned. Judah has learned what it is to not be accountable to your brother, and Judah has learned of the importance of taking responsibility for your own actions instead of pretending like they're not really your fault through what he's gone through. And so what Judah does at the beginning of this parsha is an incredible thing. He could avoid responsibility, old behavior. He could not follow through on his accountability to his brother, old behavior. Instead, what he does is he stands up in front of the second most powerful person in his world, not knowing that it's Joseph. And he says, please, don't take him. It's not his fault. Take me instead. He follows through on the commitment he makes to his father. He holds himself in accountability to his brother. He does the right thing regardless of the outcome, not knowing what the consequences will be. And this is what makes the beautiful moment of reconciliation that follows possible. After Judah does this, Joseph cries. He reveals himself to his brothers as their long-lost brother. Eventually, they all embrace, and they're able to all be reunited with their father. It's a beautiful reunion. And it's only possible because of what Judah does. Which then, of course, begs the question that many of us have asked in a few different contexts. How'd you do it? And the great Hasidic commentator, the Sfat Emet, the Gerer Rebbe of the 20th century, he does what lots of rabbis, myself included, like to do. He plays with Hebrew grammar to get at deeper meanings. It's a fun hobby. I highly recommend it. I do need to get out more. But there are unclear antecedents that give us windows for meaning. First, unclear antecedent. When Judah starts talking, he says, no, that's the second one. First, it says, Vayigash elav Yehuda. That's the first phrase of the Parsha. It says, Vayigash elav Yehuda, which is usually translated as, Judah came closer to Joseph. Judah came closer to Joseph. But in the Hebrew, it doesn't say Yosef. It's uncertain. It's unclear. And so what the Sfat Emet says is, who is it that Judah actually came close to? Judah came closer to himself. Judah was in this fraught moment. He didn't know exactly how it would unfold, and he made a choice to draw nearer to himself, to look within, to see what's in there, and to try to figure out what the right thing to do might be. And then what's the first thing Judah says? He says, Be Adoni, which is usually translated as please my Lord, like some kind of supplication, some kind of humble, whatever. But if you play around with the Hebrew, unclear antecedent fun number 2, Adoni, you can also punctuate as Adonai, and be can mean in me. God is in me. So, if you're just reading that first verse, you could read it as, Judah went up to Joseph and said, please my Lord. Or you can read it as, Judah looked within, and he saw that he had God in himself. And when you read it that way, that tells you how you can do it. That you look within and you see and acknowledge the holiness and the divinity within yourself. And I don't think it's an accident that in Hebrew we are Yehudim. We are the people of Judah. This is definitionally, characterologically who we are. And there's some wordplay there too that you'll see, as we all do when we're going through the weekday prayer book so frequently because we love it so much, right? But the word of modim, or hodaya, it's usually translated as gratitude. Kind of. Can also think about it as acknowledgement. When we say, modeh ani lefanecha, usually that's what the first words we say each morning, often translated as I am grateful before you. It's really, I acknowledge before you, God. Modeh ani lefanecha. I acknowledge before you, God, Melech Chai v'Kayam, living, powerful King, shechazarta bi nishmati bechemla, that you have given me back my soul. It's not just gratitude. It's acknowledgement. Gratitude's a better buzzword these days, but I'm going to say I think acknowledgement is underrated, and I'll tell you why. Gratitude's a list. Check, 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 check. Grateful for my parents, grateful for my community, dun, 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 dun. Okay, great. Acknowledgement, I think, can be something deeper. Gratitude can be deep, too. I'm not knocking gratitude, but let's focus on acknowledgement. If I'm a Yehudi in the truest sense of the word, it means I'm a person who's always walking around the world acknowledging that there's something bigger than me. Acknowledging that there's something else going on beyond just what I see at first glimpse, beyond my habitual reactions, beyond just what happens to come to mind in that moment. I'm going deeper. I'm somebody who's pushing myself, who's being pushed to go a little bit deeper so that I can acknowledge the truth, the richness, the depth of the world around me. And when I'm able to do that, when we're able to do that, that is what makes change possible. When Judah's able to acknowledge his inner essence, his inner holiness, his inner divinity, that's what moves the needle. That's what changes the story. That's what makes the reconciliation real and possible and right there in front of him. And so what I'm going to bring us into now is I'm going to bring us into the Shema, the next part of our service, our next prayer. The Shema is a prayer of unity, of oneness. Because in a lot of ways, the differences, the distinctions that we draw are illusory. There's a deeper oneness, there's a deeper connection. There is divinity within each of us. And when we acknowledge that, and we connect to that and through that within ourselves and around us, that's how we change what's happening in terms of how we see it to get to what's always there. Because we are all connected. And there is holiness, and through that, that's how we grow and learn. And that's a beautiful thing. So please join me in saying the Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Thank you.
All right. So we've leaned into this oneness, and now let's lean into some David G. original music. This song is called Baderech, the path on which we go, and let's be on a pathway towards God. All right, here we go. Who's running the show, carrying us as we go? Is there room in our minds to ask how we've survived? Turn to what is real. The Creator has a road for you. It's your choice to realign. You'll be led by your will. Throw away all your emptiness. There's no room for hopelessness. Baderech she'adam rotzeh נוסו בדרך שאדם רוצה ללך במוליכן נוסו. Just call out if you need an aid. Don't be afraid of assistance. Feeling alone's not a weakness. Sometimes we all need direction. Maybe all we can do is walk a little further. Throw away all your emptiness. There's no room for hopelessness. בדרך שאדם רוצה ללך במוליכן נוסו. 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 Na 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 na. Oh yeah. Na 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 na. All right. David original song.
Love
Give it
that,
up for Dave.
David. Nice, man.
All right. Ace, come on up and share about your past year of sobriety. Let's give it to him right now.
All right. Sarah was going to kill me if I forgot to give the necklace again. So, Sarah, I'm giving him the necklace. I forgot how to do the welcoming, but I'm giving him the necklace. Ace, this necklace says splendor on it. Now, I know, looking at you right now, that it's hard to imagine that you could be graced with any more splendor than you already are. And yet, can't there always be a little more splendor, my friends? So, Ace, as you take this cake for 1 year, we wish you a year in which splendor continues to grow and flourish in you, through you, and all around you. Happy birthday, dude.
Okay, I'm Ace. I'm a grateful member of this community. I had to write something down so I didn't freeze and start crying up here, which might still happen at some point. This is the third time I've taken a cake at Beit Tshuva. The second time I've actually been clean while taking a cake. So I should probably make tshuva for that. I was torn about making a speech here tonight. In the past, they've been sort of like grandiose, ego masturbatory speeches about my accomplishments and proclamations about the future. And this year feels different. It was a lot more intimate and emotional, and reflecting on how broken and lost I was a year ago has been really a beautiful juxtaposition to where I am today. This was my second time at Beit Tshuva, not counting a 36-hour stint in the middle of the pandemic. But the first time I was here, I was like a 26-year-old cocky douchebag that thought I knew better than everyone. I still sometimes am. And this place felt like Jewish summer camp and like a second attempt at college. And I hadn't been exposed to recovery, and I did not understand how serious this disease was. 7 years and many relapses later, this thing had chewed me up and spit me out, and they didn't want me to come back, and I had to plead for my life to be readmitted. This beast had stuck its claws into me and pulled me into depths physically and within my own soul that I didn't know I could sink to. When I came back, I was different, and I felt very much like a shell of who I had been for a long time. Fentanyl's a different beast. It was the first thing I could not outthink, outmaneuver, and manipulate my way out of. I tried. I went to 8 different detoxes. I even went to Cancun to do psychedelics and try to stop, and that didn't work. But I couldn't kick it. Like, the torment that I was in was so excruciating. And it's a darkness that, I mean, the residents know, families of residents know. It's hard to describe to other people that don't have that experience. When I was at my lowest, I didn't know if I wanted to keep fighting because slipping into the darkness meant the pain would stop. I've known and loved many people who were not as lucky as I was to survive this beast. Many people who meant the world to me and my loved ones. For some reason, I was lucky enough to have people who loved me more than I did myself at the time. When I was lost in this spiritual abyss, somehow I saw a coastline. When I wrote to BTS after being told they didn't want me back, I told them I wanted to come home. And I meant that with every fiber of my being. The time I've spent in this community is truly some of the happiest, warmest memories of my life, which is really weird to say about a rehab. But the friendships I've made here have become like family to me. The people that I've worked with and known over these 7 years and see and come back to see, you know, I'm closer with than people I've known since I was 2 years old. Even when I was sober here, there were beasts that lived within me that I had to learn to tame. Beasts I had been running from my whole life. And now that the drugs were gone, they became much bigger. I had to learn how to embrace vulnerability, redefine what strength and masculinity meant to me, learn how to let my guard down, how to forgive myself, show up for my inner child, how to love myself, and how to show up for my family. Somehow I was able to turn this pain into a blessing and create a life where I get to use my story to help others and be present in my own mind, body, and my own life without hating the person I am. I get to show up as a friend, a brother, a son, an uncle, a business partner, a boyfriend, and most importantly, show up for myself. While reaching the year is an amazing accomplishment, what I'm most proud of this year is that I actually love myself. Showing up for others helped me build this sense of self-love. This year's been more about internal self-reflection and becoming the type of person I can be proud of. But without my sobriety, I could not have built this life. There are many people I want to thank. I'll do that sort of individually so I don't start sobbing up here. To my parents, sister, nephews, and friends, thank you for sticking with me and giving me a reason to stick around. The love I have for you is so, well, I can't articulate that right now. I don't want to. I would not have been able to fight this beast without you guys. And I'm eternally grateful for your love and support. Rabbi and Harriet, thanks for building this place. Thank you for threatening to rip my head off and shit down my throat. To everyone else, show up and hold on. Thank you.
Don't go too far. Come on, Ace. Go right in front. And anyone, who wants to give them a cake, please come up now. We're also celebrating the birthday of Sam K. and Julian B. and also Rabbi Mark Borovitz for 35 years. So let's sing to all of them. Let's fit all their names in there if you can. I'll do it for you if you can't. So here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, A. Sam, Julian, and Rabbi Mark. Happy birthday to you. Keep coming back sober. All right. With all that celebration and effort and work put in to our recovery, let's keep that celebration going with a prayer for peace, but a upbeat Beit Shuva version, Michael Hunter Oaks version, the one we do every week. So here we go. Here we go. Say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael. Say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom. Say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael. 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 Oh, 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 all right. Before we get into our ending prayers, I want to thank Dave G. I want to thank Ted Greenberg. I want to thank Thea. I want to thank Laura. I want to thank Erica, Jay, Rosie, and Jonathan. And I want to thank Michael. Lydia's away for the weekend, but she's usually helping out too. And I want to thank Rabbi Matt for leading such a wonderful service. I want to thank all of you for being present and part of this community, and I want to thank the residents for the journey of recovery that they are committed to and saying yes to their life.
And everybody give it up for Canner Nate for anchoring it all.
All right, everyone please rise for Aleinu. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יחיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated.
Just as we celebrate and rejoice when there is occasion to celebrate and rejoice, we also know the importance and need in community to mark moments of loss, where we need to be remembering those who have passed. Folks may have seen through emails that came out, we offer our most sincere condolences to our longtime community member, family and friends of our longtime community member, Peter Bergman. We wish that his memory should always be for a blessing. We continue to be in the year of mourning for Norma Sklar, Darren Fond, Paul Roven, Lucas Simon Foster, Marco Mayo, Mark Gottesman, Vladimir Wolf-Pessin, Tyler Wright, Suzanne Good, Michael Turpak, Zachary El-Khatib, Menachem Bennett, Matthew Brzezinski, Hannah Weller, Daniel Engel, Gloria Boraz, Shayna Michelle Aiken, Jerry Glasser, Sarah Abigail, Ben Scher, Jay Gagerman, Ronald Mankoff, Sarah Lee Yanklowitz, Marcia Solomon, Gail Weiner, Elaine Gumpert, Quinn Yamron, Gabriel N. Walensky, Marty Schiffer, Dina Hofkosh, Benjamin Paul, David Ruderman, Paul Marr, Greg Sutton, Lisa Beth Cooper, Stephen Reisman, William F. Besser, Aurea Clark, Jake Schneider, Mitch Hodesh, David Hansen, Asher Barkan, Everett James, Rabbi Yossi Karen, Susan Gesundheit, Harvey Weiner, Josephine Plata Villarreal, and Sarah Wilshinsky. And we also mark the yard sites of Naum Serlin, Edward Redstone, Guilford Glazer, Sarah Carms, Paul Von Bloom, Catherine Cummings, Manya Balzac, Esther Rotter, Rose Halpern, Ruth Singer, Dorothy Benditson, David Foster, Paul Fishbein, Mark Stowitsky, Roberto Alonso, Tom Palubicki, Edith Singer, Nate Schubb, Abe Carnes, Arnold Seidel, Carol Isaacson, Irving Stencil, Jackie Banchik, Alice Weiss, Catherine Hellhor, Frida Feinberg, Stan Candel, Alan Sternfeld, Betty Frankel, and Carolyn Gold-Mintz. As I come around, please share the names of the people who you are remembering tonight. If you see someone standing alone, please stand near them because no one mourns alone here. We say, Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen, Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam omei omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemeid kudsha brichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen, Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who grants peace in the heavens grant us a measure of peace here on earth as well. And we say together, Amen.
So we have a very special Shabbat sponsor this evening. Harriet and I are sponsoring Shabbat, Harriet and Rabbi Mark, in honor of my 35 years of recovery, with gratitude to Warren Breslow, David Ruderman, Annette Shapiro, and the rest of the people who have been with us since the beginning. Grateful to the numerous alumni who have continued to carry our message and those who continue to stay in touch. Grateful and blessed and joyous, Rabbi Mark and Harriet. And we have all been blessed by them and their work and their life. All right, so we have many things happening in this community, as always. We have Community Shabbat Dinner that's starting January 19th. I believe going forward, it's going to be on the third Friday of every month. Don't set that in stone, but I believe that is what we're planning to have happen. So the first one will be next month, January 19th. We have a gala coming up, our biggest fundraising event of the year. That's January 28th, a Sunday. We will be honoring Paul Bergman, the Teshuvah Award recipient, and also Lynn Shapiro, the inaugural recipient of the Annette Shapiro Volunteer Award. All proceeds go directly towards the treatment and care of our residents. If you have any questions, please contact Addie or talk to Sarah or call the front desk and ask for Addie. Look on our website. There's information there. Baked Shuva. That is a program started by Jackie Elkins, and then the residents braid the challah every Thursday night. I'm here to see them in action doing it. That's right. Yay, residents. You can pre-order a challah at bakedshuvah.com. And if you order before Wednesday at 9 a.m., you can get it delivered.
You can?
You can.
Whoa.
Absolutely. There's also social media on TikTok and Instagram at Baked Shuva. So check that out if
There's
you're
a Beit Shuva. What's on the Beit Shuva TikTok?
Yeah.
I'm so curious. This isn't shtick. I'm legitimately curious what's on the Beit
It's
Shuva.
probably them braiding challah, I would imagine, Rabbi. You know, I'm not big. Check it out. I'm not big into social media myself, but if you are, please join at Baked Shuva. There's also social media for Beit Shuva. It's at Beit Shuva. We also have Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So, car donation program. It's a long-standing program that we have. Being able to give a car to a resident directly helps them move forward to the next stage of their life. If you have a car you no longer need, please consider donating it to Beit Shuvah to help fuel someone's recovery. Very clever. Running for Recovery, our marathon team. If you're on the marathon team, raise your hand right now. All right, we got a few. Nice. All right, so they run the marathon and also collect donations for their running efforts. So if you would like to donate to one of our runners, I'm not sure if you can join the team still. You can still join the team to run the marathon as well. So Sarah Jacobs, who's our wonderful temple coordinator, she's also coordinating the marathon team. So speak with her if you have any questions about that. And then you can show up and cheer them on at our cheering station, which is always a big event that we have every year. We make signs and we play music and we have a good time. So hope to see you all there. Rabbi Matt, do you have any words before we...
I have a couple. I told Nate I was going to do one thing, but because I'm a rabbi, it's now become 3 things. But they're 3 relatively quick things, I promise. First thing, and I say this with all seriousness, I learned this when I worked here. The Bermuda Triangle of Recovery is between Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. It's not by the Jewish year. It's by the secular year. The Bermuda Triangle of Recovery, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. I remember working here. This was always a really, really gnarly time in folks' recovery, particularly in early recovery. So I'm just saying it out loud. If you're having a rough moment over these next couple of weeks, please, please, please ask somebody for help. Just ask for help. Everybody's here to help you. Please ask for help. It's a rough couple of weeks. I just wanted to make sure to say that out loud. Second thing. Grateful to Rabbi Mark for sponsoring tonight in honor of his recovery. I want to say one quick Rabbi Mark story that I think connects to some of the stuff I've been talking about. I interned here and I worked here. I told you that already. After I had interned here, I was kind of paying attention. Then I started working here full time and I paid more attention. I was talking with Rabbi Mark one time, and Torah describes Moses as the most humble man who ever lived. And Rabbi Mark said, well, you know what I say about how Moses was the most humble man who ever lived. But I pretended that I said, oh, yeah, because in rabbinical school, when you get asked questions like that and you say, yeah, it counts as being good enough. So I made the mistake, and I said to Rabbi Mark, I said, oh, yeah. And he said, okay, what do I say about it? And I said, And he said, you don't remember, do you? And I said, no, I don't remember. And he was too mad to even cuss at me. Which, if you know Rabbi Mark, that's bad. That's bad. And he looked at me and he said, don't you ever do that again. For good reason. Because both Rabbi Mark and Harry would teach me this all the time. If you don't know, just say you don't know. It's great to not know something because then it means you have the opportunity to now learn it. And that's a good thing to do. One of the most awesome things about being a human means we have the capacity to learn things. So I'm grateful to Rabbi Mark and to Harriet for teaching me and teaching me again and then teaching me a third time. Still might be a fourth one, we'll see, about how important it is to stay teachable and open, and I'm grateful to them for that, and I'm grateful to Rabbi Mark for sponsoring tonight, Rabbi Mark and Harriet for sponsoring tonight, and congrats and mazel tov to Rabbi Mark on the 35 years. Holy cow, that's amazing. This is the actual last thing. Sarah, my wife, she shared this poem with me last night, and I wanted to share it with all of you. I'll be here again next week, so I'll have more stuff to say to you then. But for tonight, this is the last thing I'll share with you. We're in the middle of this cycle of Parshiot, of Torah portions about Joseph. And folks probably know Joseph had this amazing coat of many colors that his dad gave him. That was a source of strife for between him and his brothers. That's all the background that you need to get where this poem is coming from. This poem was written just recently by an Israeli poet. Her name's Racheli Mashkovitz. And here's the translation. It's entitled, A Coat of Many Colors. My son returned from battle, his duffel bursting with things that I had not packed for him. Socks donated by the Jews in Argentina, a quilted blanket smelling like someone else's home, a blue towel from a family from the Moshav, tzitzit from Jerusalem, a fleece jacket gifted by a high-tech company, a scarf knitted by an elderly lady, undershirts purchased by online shoppers, a sheet that was given to him by a friend, gloves bought by teenage girls, a jacket from the closet of someone who came and requested to give. I spread out all of these garments and wove together a new coat of many colors. See, Joseph, your brothers were there for you. May we keep showing up for ourselves and for each other in all the ways that we need to this Shabbat and this week and always. Amen.
All right. Let's all rise together one more time. 2 more prayers. Kiddush Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Amotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, folks. Have a beautiful, beautiful Shabbos.